Jennifer, I think we'll go ahead and get started if you want to start recording.
We're ready to go.
Good, thank you. Well, good morning, and thank you for participating in the fifth of our Leader Talk series, Leading Your Employees to the Battle with COVID-19. My name is Keith Seib. I'm Director for Business and Industry Services at Catawba Valley Community College. Working in collaboration with K64 and the Chamber of Catawba County, our goal over the past several weeks has been to provide business leaders throughout our community useful information for both you and your employees as you face the challenges brought on by the coronavirus. I know you'll find our Leader Talk today, Phase 2, Opening Safely, extremely useful and beneficial to you as business owners as well as customers of local businesses. As we begin to reopen in Phase 2, it is critical that we do so in a safe and responsible manner. Our guest today from the North Department of Health and Human Services, as well as the Chamber of Catawba County, will help you understand just how to do that. We're fortunate to hear from North Carolina DHHS on the state directives that they've been putting together, and then the Chamber will bring to you how the local perspective on opening safely. Dr. Keith Mackee, Executive President here at CVCC, will introduce today's Leader Talk and our two distinguished speakers. Following Dr. Mackee, each of our guest speakers will share two very important initiatives targeting just how you go about opening your businesses safely. Then Jennifer Jones, Business Liaison with K64, will open the floor up to Q&A. Please feel free to ask questions using the Q&A function in the WebEx. Any questions that you have, and we'll be happy to try to address those at the Leader Talk. In closing, Cindy Fulbright, Program Manager for CVCC's Furniture Academy, will share our focus for upcoming Leader Talks coming up later this month. With that, Dr. Mackee, thank you for being here this morning.
Thank you, Keith. It's a pleasure to be here. Good morning. On behalf of our president, Dr. Henshaw, and our faculty and staff at Catawba Valley Community College, I want to welcome you to our Leader Talk series. As Keith mentioned, this is the fifth in this series. Thank you for being with us today. We're certainly experiencing very unusual times, and it takes all of us working together and supporting each other to keep our community strong. So thank you for everything that you're doing to keep our community healthy and productive. During our Leader Talk today, Phase 2, Opening Safely, our experts will discuss the reopening of our businesses safely. The steps to protect your employees and your customers can be unclear and frankly confusing. So our goal today is to provide information that will help you as you begin returning to an operational state. We're very fortunate to have two outstanding community leaders with us, Shane Smith and Lindsay Keesler. Shane will share with us from a state perspective, and Lindsay will share with us from a more local perspective. And the local perspective falls under, of course, the broader umbrella, state umbrella. We're very appreciative of their time and their expertise, and I would like to thank both Shane and Lindsay for being with us today. Up first is Mr. Shane Smith. Shane's with the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services Division of Public Health. He has a Bachelor of Science degree in Environmental Health from East Carolina University. He received his certification as an FDA Standardized Retail Food Safety Inspection Officer in 2017 and is a graduate of the North Carolina Public Health Leaders Institute of the University of North Carolina's Institute of Public Health. Shane currently serves as the branch head of the Food Protection and Facilities Branch of Environmental Health. So welcome, Shane, and thank you for joining us today. We really appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Dr. Mackee. I appreciate that, and thank you guys for the opportunity to speak. Welcome from Goldsboro, North Carolina, and if you're not familiar with that, that's Seymour Johnson Air Force Base. I'm about an hour south of Raleigh, and I do work in Raleigh at our main building, which is the Department of Health and Human Services, but due to COVID-19, of course, we have been teleworking for some time now. Thank you for the opportunity to come speak. I've got a couple of different things to discuss with you, of course, especially from the state perspective on the different guidance that is out there and available for local businesses and the citizens of North Carolina. One, of course, will be the main DHHS website where we have a COVID-19 page to discuss, and let me bring that up for you. If you look at the screen, this is our main dashboard. When you get to the DHHS website, there is a specific COVID location that you can go to that has, of course, all the different resources that gives you updates for the executive orders, the different mandates, and different guidance documents that you can search through. One of the main things that we want to make sure that is out there is, besides the 3 W's, of course, that everybody is experiencing: wear face cloth covering, wait 6 feet apart, and wash. That's the general guidance for all citizens in North Carolina. But right now, we have different things for updates just specific for different businesses and different material and resources that you can utilize for getting back open. So once you get here, this is also how it goes to stay informed. You can scroll through the different options to get to the specific location that you need. It's got things about specific general options for your employees, but also how to open up your businesses and different business tools. So I want to get to that so you can be able to utilize those and see them and access them. Here you'll see the daily updates for the confirmed cases and hospitalizations. As you scroll through, you can go to the bottom of the page. And this is where you'll see all the information for specific types of locations of different businesses, whether it's business and employees, individual families, testing information, childcare, and specific healthcare information. Once you receive here, you can see we have specific guidance for restaurants, different workers in farm and meatpacking industries, and general business information, as well as your different human services and aspects through our DHHS website. In general, this website is culminated from CDC guidance, as well as working with all of our local health departments, all of our academia resources we have in North Carolina, to bring up the most important and up-to-date information on opening safely and working around getting back through to phase 3 through phase 2. All of your executive orders and your mandates are here, so you can read those in full length if you've not seen them and you have any questions about those. And there's some certain FAQ sheets that you can look at to have frequently asked questions, and we can discuss those at the end. One specific thing that has been worked on to DHHS, as well as North Carolina Restaurant and Lodging Association and academia, is the Count on Me and See program, and that's the main thing I want to discuss this morning. If you've not heard about this, this is an initiative that was put together when COVID-19 first came out. We knew, of course, that opening back up, there was going to be some anxiety from consumers and also some businesses of how to open, how to get people feeling comfortable to go back out in the public again, how to begin our retail functions. And so this initiative was born together. It started with the restaurant industry, of course, and lodging, but also we moved it through different phases to all different facets of business. And this is something that is available for you to go to. It's free. It has online training courses and also even a certification of completion just for general citizens that they've gone through to understand what their requirements are as far as getting back out into the public. So I kind of want to take that through you to how you would work those and how you'd be able to log online for those courses. This website contains a pledge that you can take that the patrons show that they've already gone through the training, so they understand once they've gone through the pandemic, they can look and see who's taken this pledge as well. There are additional courses for all your non-food courses, and one of them is specifically cleaning and disinfection and other COVID guidelines for non-food and general businesses. As of 12:20 p.m. yesterday, there was over 31,000 registrants so far for this website and this course, as well as 7,600 different types of businesses, and over 8,200 certificates have been submitted so far that have completed the course. So once you reach this website, you can kind of scroll through and go to the business training module. And that'll get you to the different training functions that you can sign up for. As you see, there is restaurant owners and operators, restaurant front of house staff, restaurant back of house staff, the general cleaning and disinfecting service for any kind of management for COVID-19, and then just general best practices for COVID-19 management. I will just click on one just to show you how you would get started, and we'll just do the general businesses so we can kind of see how that function would work. Of course, it will take a minute. There we go. Okay, so once you get to the specific course you're looking at deciding to take, you would scroll through and you would register for the course. As I stated before, this is a free training course. There is no cost. Most of them are about 30 minutes that you can do online. And once you have completed the course, there will be a certificate that you'll be able to have showing that you've completed this course and this function of the Count on Me and See program. It can be done for any of the portions of your businesses, but also you can do it as a patron. And then once you've completed those, you can also look up on the website to see exactly who has taken those courses and who is actually a member and who's done this in your community. That's on the first portion of the page. You can go to the guest pledge. This will be where any citizen can come through and look through on this and make sure that you have an understanding of what can you do, what can businesses do. And then once you have taken that, you'll be able to actually type your name in here saying that you have taken the pledge to Count on Me NC. This was put together with NC State University. Dr. Ben Chapman, who was a leading food scientist nationally. He's a nationally known food scientist. He and his staff put together this program along with DHHS, with our portions of epidemiology, our communicable disease branch, and the North Carolina Restaurant and Lodging Association. The North Carolina Restaurant and Lodging Association has put this out across the state to all their members, but it has also been a significant part in opening up to all members of the business communities. So make sure we have a understanding of, hey, it's time to get back to work. We want you to feel safe. We want you to know what the right things to do, and here's what we're doing to make sure we have done it right and that you are feeling comfortable coming back into those environments. Here at the top, you can also see the participating businesses. This is a filter where you can look through and type in, search by the specific type and the search by specific city to see what people have taken this course already and have done the Count on Me pledge in North Carolina. So with that, that gives you pretty much a rundown of the two functions of these various websites and the different resources that are out there for you. Just remember that, when we're talking about any of these recommendations or guidelines they have put forth, that they are that recommendations and guidelines. If it's something that is mandated through an executive order, this would be specifically stated in the executive order that is a mandate, such as the limit of the gathering or the 50% of the facilities or availability of your seating, and if it was a restaurant or other type of facility. Anything else that put out is a recommendation. I guess our health department system in North Carolina is a decentralized health department system. So our rules and regulations are carried about through those individual health departments. Our branch that I'm the branch head of pretty much does the intern training of those interns for the different health departments. So we write the rules, regulations. We also are a guideline to go through industry to kind of help to be the liaison to help explain those rules and to kind of be a resource and a training module for the different health departments. But your local health departments are the ones that actually do the inspections, do the visits. But remember, these are all recommendations. These are not in our rules, so they're not effective as far as something that they carry out as part of their inspection process, but they are a resource for you with any guidance that you would need and open up your facilities. We have done not only just our regular inspection process, but we have provided guidance to all sorts of different industries that are wanting to open back up, and we have been in the process of reviewing those plans. So with that, I will turn that back over to Jennifer so we can go to the next portion. And I thank you for your time this morning, and we will definitely be around for questions afterwards.
Thank you, Shane.
Thank you, Shane. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for everything you're doing statewide to help us through this situation and everything that you do in a normal situation. We appreciate it. Our next speaker is Ms. Lindsay Keesler. Lindsay really needs no introduction, but I have one prepared regardless. So Lindsay has had several roles during her decade tenure at the Catawba County Chamber of Commerce. She has served as President and Chief Executive Officer since 2017. Lindsay holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Business Administration from UNC Charlotte. In 2013, she graduated from the U.S. Chamber Institute for Organization Management at the University of Georgia and earned her Certified Chamber Executive of the Carolinas designation in 2018. Lindsay has received a number of accolades, including being named one of Greater Hickory Metro's top 10 under 40 in 2014. She was recognized as a 2018 Woman of Distinction by the Girl Scout Peaks to Piedmont Council and was named one of the 2018 Trailblazers by Business North Carolina magazine. Lindsay is currently the board president for the Carolinas Association of Chamber of Commerce Executives, a Rotarian, and serves on countless local boards and commission. She will be presenting today from more of a local perspective. So welcome, Lindsay, and thank you again for being with us today. We appreciate your time.
Thank you, Dr. Mackee, for the kind introduction. I want to say, just pause a minute and say thank you to our friends and partners at Catawba Valley Community College, also K64 for allowing us the privilege of partnering with you all on the Leader Talk series. I think this is an incredibly important thing for us to do collaboratively to provide information to our business community in regards to all of us attempting to navigate this unprecedented time in our history. But also, I want to thank all of you business owners that are on the call today. I have had the privilege of serving in this role along with my team. We truly, and I'm serious, we truly feel humbled to be able to be in the position of walking along beside of you and being in this with you to assist you, to equip you with information, equip you with guidance, to assist you during this time. If ever a chamber is valuable, we're made for times such as this. So again, I thank you. I commend you for your resiliency and your creativity and your innovation that I've seen you all just continue to employ every day during this time. And I want to say, don't give up, right? Let's keep pushing forward. And I'm especially encouraged as we continue to lean into reopening, the reopening of our economy. And for the past 6 weeks, I want to tell you that we have convened a recovery task force, and I look forward to releasing a full list of priorities that we've collaboratively put together between local government, business, and education leaders. And several of those topics is really what was the impetus for the Open and Safe campaign. So I want to give you a little bit of background. But first too, I want to thank Shane. So Shane Smith and their team at NCDHHS has done an incredible job of helping push down information. So most of the information we've distilled and passed on to you has come from their office. And I know they've been working really hard. I think we felt that guidance in general was difficult to come by over the last month, but they have definitely been thoughtful and pushed out information to help businesses not only reopen, not the when, but also the how. So I'll talk to you about our own version of the Count on Me and See, our hyper-local version. But first, let me discuss a little bit about our conversations around this recovery task force. So two main priorities kept rising to the surface in order for us to expedite recovery for Catawba County. We, first of all, need to focus on public health. Second of all, economic health. My stance, I think those two particular bodies have been pinned up in competition amongst one another over the last several months. But my stance is that they are intertwined and cannot be separated, right? We have to have a healthy community to have a healthy economy, and vice versa. And so in order for us to move forward, we need to ensure, number one, that we maintain public health. So we help minimize the spread of COVID-19 over the next several months until there is a cure, or I should say a vaccine. Secondly, we need to figure out how to pour into our business community. So in order for that to happen, we need to have resumed local spending. But to do that, there are several barriers that we've acknowledged in the way. First of all, public health. Shane very well stated the 3 W's, reminding people to wash, to wait, and what's the third one? Help me, Shane. Wear, yes, face coverings. And so it's important that we all do our part in remembering to practice our own, do our own part. On the economic standpoint, you all, we mentioned this guidance, and like I said, it was very confusing and there's a lot of information, but how do you distill what's proper for your particular business and your particular industry? So we needed to encourage business owners to voluntarily implement these standards and best practices in order to safely reopen. So, but alongside of that, consumers there's fear, right? And there's also lack of confidence. And so we need to help in order to not only implement the practices, but we need to remind them and provide reinforcement that as business owners, we're implementing these particular practices with prioritizing their health and well-being. And not only doing that, but then telling them we're doing that. And so that's really where the Open and Safe campaign came from. And so I want to pull it up and share that with you. So about a week and a half ago, with support of several other partners, and I want to recognize them, the Catawba County EDC, Downtown Hickory Development Association, Downtown Newton Development Association, the Small Business Center at CVCC, and the SBTDC. We came together, and much like the Count on Me and See program, we wanted to create a local brand. So this is representative of our region, our 4-county region. So this was an opportunity for businesses not only to receive the guidance through our playbook. I'm going to open this so you can see. We've created this is a 60-page document that has guidance directly from the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services, also the CDC. And as Shane so well stated, as you can see here, it says it's a framework meant to serve as a conversation starter. This is not a final prescriptive set of answers or solutions. It's simply recommendations and guidance. So that's what we opted to call it a playbook. So I encourage you to go on catawbachamber.org/open-and-safe. If you've been searching for some guidance for your particular business and industry, we've hopefully laid out this guidance very, very straightforward, very easy to digest, and also linked you to other information or resources to find more information. So there's general recommendations, and then it gets down into the specific industries. So I encourage you to download this. If you haven't already created a plan for your business and reopening, you need to do that. You need to create a plan. Regardless of how much of this you implement, you still need a plan in order to do this, to open safely, to do your part. So in addition to the guidance, we said, why can't we offer a way for businesses to make a public statement to say that we have implemented these procedures with our employees' health and also our customers' health in the front of our minds, and we want to make a public affirmation or statement to then solidify that commitment to the general public. So what we've done, I'm going to flip back to the website here. We have an online form. So here's the Open and Safe commitment. Basically gives you some general outline that you're committing to the protection of the safety of your employees and also to your customers. And then there's a digital form here. So if you agree to those things, you can enter your business information, digitally sign this commitment, and then we wanted to give you something in return to then visually reinforce that. So this is free and open to all businesses, much like the Count on Me and See program. You receive a digital poster for doing this that you can prominently display in your business. In addition to that, we've listed all the businesses on this page. So as of yesterday, we're excited that over 100 businesses, local businesses across Catawba County, have made the commitment to being open and safe. So we think that is an incredibly inspiring story for us to continue to tell. Every day, more businesses sign on, and we are seeing other signage across the community, just as an effort to unify the business community around protecting lives and also livelihoods across our community. We feel that, again, over the next several months, this will also be relevant because some businesses aren't yet open to the general public. So as you're making plans to reopen, I want to invite you to read through this, thoughtfully consider making a public statement, implementing these guidelines, and then making a public statement. In addition, there are other packages here that you probably noticed. These really give you the opportunity to purchase at cost various signage to, again, help visually reinforce your commitment to your customers and employees. So from stickers that employees can wear on their uniforms, you can put on employee information packets that you send out to your team, to yard signs that you can put out front if you have a lot of walk-in traffic or street drive-by traffic. And then your vinyl decals. So you can put those either on a tabletop if you want to use them as a 6-foot marker for social distancing at cash registers, or you can simply put it in your window or storefront to assist you again in reinforcing that you are open and safe. So I want to stress that this is open to all businesses, regardless if you're a current chamber partner or not. Everything we do really, it impacts the entire business community, regardless if you choose to actually invest in the chamber as a member. But we wanted to provide this opportunity for the business community across our region in order, like I mentioned, to help us expedite recovery by preserving public health and also protecting economic health. So at this time, first of all, I want to say thank you, and I guess we'll open it up for any questions.
Thank you, Lindsay, and thank you, Shane. We're so grateful to have you both with us today to share this valuable information, and so excited to have these both of these programs available to our businesses so that they can demonstrate to customers that they are open and safe and ready for business and ready to keep their employees and their customers safe. So, Shane, I have a question for you. Regarding indoor spaces that are public facing, is the mass gathering limit calculated by the entire building or per room?
As far as if it's a non-food business, is that what the question from? Is that the angle, or is it a restaurant business?
Non-food.
Non-food. From my understanding, it would be up to the local municipality as far as how is that fire, I guess the fire maximum capacity is figured. If it is per building, it would be toward that. If it is per room, it would be towards that. So I think it goes back to the maximum capacity of the maximum fire capacity that has been built in from your fire inspector chief and then your building code.
And how does that differ for food service?
For food service, you'd also have outside dining calculated as well. So it is a 50% capacity, but remember they did a law that expanded outside seating, so people are actually given more space to move their seating outside now. They still have to have the 6-foot social distancing, but there is a chance for, if you have that agreements with your municipality, and I believe there was even a law proposed to allow even increased, regardless of the municipality, to be able to have more outside seating as long as those parameters are in place.
Very good. So maybe for both of you guys, how does the executive order impact policy set by local government?
I'll try to speak generally as I can. If a local government is more restrictive, it can be more restrictive as far as if the local municipality puts in certain things in place. But if regardless if they're saying, no, we're doing X, Y, Z, if it's an executive order, it's mandated an executive order, it would have to be followed.
And I will add to that from a local perspective, we do not have any other orders that are more restrictive than the executive order by the governor. So that's the standard that we are, or the order that we are operating under currently in Catawba County.
Okay, so what will change in phase 3?
It's 12
and
o'clock.
when will that happen?
I wish I could tell you when that will happen. I don't get privy to that information, but from my understanding, it was 4 to 6 weeks out once we entered phase 2, depending on how the numbers are reported, how the maximum capacity of the hospitals are overflowing. At that point, it would be open up to like normal business type. That would still be your social distancing 3 Ws in place until further notice, but it would allow for more full capacity. More businesses that have been restricted will be ultimately open at that point.
All right. Do you guys, either one of you, have anything else you'd like to share with us today?
The only thing I will say, if we or any of our local health departments can be of any assistance for any questions of opening back up or guidance on employee safety or employee health policy, we are always here and available. Besides just the regulatory, function that we have, we are always here for consultation, and that's a function that we hope to continue in any aspect, not just during a time of pandemic, but in a time of general operation. We have moved, great strides to try to increase our effectiveness, not just of doing the inspection portion, but being here on the consultative level too. And we work with all branches of government and all academia to work in that phase. But I believe Jennifer's got an FAQ sheet, and also both of those websites have certain FAQ functions that you can go through for frequently asked questions. And then also remember, your local health department is there to help at any assistance.
Perfect, thank you. Lindsay, if you have anything else today?
Sure. I just want to again say thank you to you guys for allowing me to be a presenter today. I thank you again to the business community for making the effort, voluntary effort, to ensure that we all do our part to keep our community healthy and our economy strong. Just a reminder, catawbachamber.org/open and safe. If you feel like you'd like to implement this guidance and make that public statement, we'd certainly welcome that. So again, thank you. If I can assist you in any other way other than this open and safe commitment, we're here. We're here. And we've been, like I said, privileged to work alongside of business throughout this entire process and moving forward. So again, thanks everybody.
Thank you, and thanks to both you and Shane for being with us today. Thank you for sharing this very valuable information. Lindsay, we appreciate your partnership at CVCC and K64 in our leader talks and the information we've been able to share with our local business community. To close us out today, we've got Cindy Fulbright to share a little bit about what's coming up later.
Thank you, Jennifer. I'd like to thank you to everyone for joining us today as we continue to work through COVID-19. Our next Leader Talks will be June the 16th at 11:30. Please plan to join us. In the meantime, we will be sending out a survey. Please take a few minutes to complete this survey. Your input will help us meet the needs of our community as we continue the process of finding a sense of normalcy. I hope you have a great week, and thank you again for joining us today.
Thank you, Cindy. And Lindsay, did you have an event coming up, I think, that I wanted to give you a second to share about?
Yes, those of you that are on the call and if you're interested, we are actually partnering with the CVCC Small Business Center and the Catawba County Economic Development Corporation, also the Small Business Technology and Development Center tomorrow to host another webinar. This one's titled Open, Safe, and Profitable. So in addition to opening safely, we want to ensure that you're going to open profitably. So basically the topics that are covered, questions to ask yourself, how to open profitably based on the current mandates in terms of maximum occupancy. Additionally, how to communicate your reopening practices to your customers and also your employees. And then finally, sales forecasting and managing to cash. So this is going to be pretty intensive on the operations side of things. So if you're interested, tomorrow, Thursday, the 4th, Thursday, the 4th at 2:30. And we're glad to take other registrants for that.
Thank you so much, Lindsay, and thank you for all you guys are doing for our community. Thanks to all those who've joined us today. Thank you to our panelists. We appreciate you being with us today, and we hope y'all have a great day.